afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Heroes like Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on this is Crossroads. Damn it. Versus in the north, south, you got 3 in Vecla. Fighting here for King Country, the Commonwealth. Rolling out here for the 7th Armored Division versus in the north, we got Tarnation. Fighting for the Oberkommers, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 107th Panzer Brigade. We got here Luftwaffe, Scavenge, and Special Operation with Triple Infantry versus Reich'n'Roll's Commando Regiment. Special Weapons and Mobile Assault with Triple Infantry from as well. Tarnation then going into a heavy Volksgun build. Versus in the south we got double sections for Reich'n'Roll with the University following up there. Moving east with the Volksgrenadiers. Moving westwards with the Sturm Pioneers. And there you go, Fulton moving out. So a bit of a spread out here, noting he's not actually pushing pretty hard for the western field point, though we could in theory push for the eastern point. In the meanwhile, though, Reich'n'Roll is focusing very heavily on the western one. Going to try and push for that one, which does open up some potential for harassment options there for Tarnation. Of course, could also result in some issues, but there you go. Section caught out in the open, falling back here. But there you go. Retreat is realised. If he just were to pull back towards here, the Sturm Pies would just get more free shots, getting more free damage on the section. Overall, they win the engagement. So right here, Reich'n'Roll I think makes the right decision, just retreating on the spot rather than trying to, you know, do something there. We got the second section moving in, catching down the Sturm Pies out in the open. Much better engagement here for Reich'n'Roll this time around. So now again the Sturm Pies another one out in the open. They have to close the section to be able to do some damage before they pull in close and thusly have a chance of winning. In this case, it buys a bit more distance. This time, the University coming in should have a chance of versus Sturm Pioneers. In these forces grabbing territory, the 3rd Force Squadron on the way for Tarnation here. And there we go, Sturm Pioneers now repulsed here with some nasty losses here from Reich'n'Roll. So again, he was able to turn this engagement. It took some time, but overall, he was able to at least, you know, force retreat on the Sturm Pioneers, killing one and leaving the rest pretty wounded, and not lose a single member himself. So that was overall a series of, I think, tactically, you know, well done engagements there for Reich'n'Roll. Fulton's moving here for the centre victory point, going to lay down sandbags in the centre, sandbags as well. Tarnation here being very methodical. Note the way setting up some here right next to the point, but here it's at the edge of the point because right here the opponent can theoretically still use them, but here it's going to be a lot harder for him to just hold the point, plus he can also then cover the point here a bit better. So this one offers a bit more sort of tactical advantages. University gave us the Volksgrenadiers without Panzerfaust or a Contender for Tarnation lacks options though for sort of really dealing with the Universal Carrier, which is pretty much like a light tank otherwise. Section pulling ahead against the Volksgrenadiers. Volks is retreating here, does not risk it, he does not linger. He might have tried to bait them a bit around there, but that did not work out for Tarnation. Back here, nothing further going on from him. He could take up now in theory. He could go for a Contender, he could go for more Sturm Pioneers, Volksgrenadiers. There are several options. He could also soon consider a puncher straight with the Sturm Pioneers to help deal with the Universal Carrier. Note he seemingly didn't reinforce them or lost someone pretty quickly then. In the south, more forces pushing here. Map is sort of interesting, split up here. Sort of southern players going west fuel, northern players going east fuel. That's a much rarer division here of the map, and certainly a bit interesting to see here. Now we can also see Reich'n'Roll going to push for the eastern fuel point. We got the forces flicking up here, going to hit the cutoff point there, though. In this situation, the cutoff point does not particularly cut off a lot. This one, for example, does a lot more here against Reich'n'Roll. We got the forces moving up here, occupying the heavy cover by the fuel. And we got a Contender on the way here for Tarnation follow up with a try. And of course we can sort of see the difference here between the two pieces of sandbag. I mean here, this one is a lot harder for Reich'n'Roll to use, for example, in theory against Tarnation, whereas this one can be used by Tarnation against Reich'n'Roll due to its positioning while holding the point. So there are some differences there in sort of how you can sandbag around a point. And Tarnation here I think is sort of displaying the finer points in that. Sappers following up here for Reich'n'Roll is already taken up. Here we got more troops in, and there we go, got the Vickers K. Much more heavy firepower, much harder for the Volksgrenadiers to hold on. Against all of that, we do see retreat forced here, holding up here. In this case, of course, if Tarnation were to attack from the west, the set could work out well. But in theory, if you attack from the north, obviously the sandbags will be less good. So right here, in this case, Tarnation needs to sort of move about here, attack from the north. That way, limiting the utility of the sandbags if he actually wants to grab the point at the same time. Whereas again, if he attacks from the west, I mean, then it works out well. But in theory, you shouldn't be attacking from the west here, since that's more the direction of the enemy space. We got Panzer up here for Tarnation, actually cancels the Contender and goes for another Volksgrenadier squad while going for the Belgrade headquarters. So it looks like Tarnation slightly changed up his tactics here, strategy against Reich'n'Roll. An interesting choice there. We got a sniper out for Reich'n'Roll. And there you go, Fulton attack from the north, going to flank behind here the section. Going to need to attack from another one because now he can just switch over to the cover. I mean, he can't sort of do it at the same time, but this, you know, there's some bits. In this case, the light cannon also proved to help from the other side. So there's that. Fuel point there secured. Attacking in there. Brandhand Grenade I think should be pretty handy though here for Tarnation and the 107th Panzer Brigade, which was a unit rushed in to support the German army in the Netherlands during Operation Market Garden. Fun fact, it was also one of the few Panzer Brigades to actually perform well on the Western Front, and so would actually be upgraded to a full Panzer Grenadier division shortly after that, I think. So a little fun fact there. Sappers have been dealt with by Volksgrenadiers and more Volksgrenadiers, not much else. Got the sniper opening up. They misses with his boys anti-tank rifle there in the west-north. There we go again, and the way he sort of lays down sandbags depending on the point. And there you go, battle group headquarters up there for Tarnation with medics. Could go for a flak half attack to push against our Mecklenburg, but considering it is the Brits, an AC could very likely be, something that could happen, in which case the flak half attack could perhaps be too vulnerable there for Tarnation's liking. And for some reason, yeah, there you go, the troops being able to finish the sandbags here, so you'd rather accidentally pull them off the fuel point. So troops reinforcing, healing. Got a Vickers machine gun out here for Drang Meckler, most of his forces back at the base there. So he's actually not getting a lot of fuel right now versus Tarnation, which is good for him, though at the same time Tarnation's not getting a lot of fuel either. He's only getting slightly more, though of course that can quickly change. And Tarnation going for a machine gun of his own. Eine Maschinengewehr. University getting out here, we got section supporting. Vickers was also moving up, so that's a really big push here from Drang Meckler towards the west. And I mean, right now, Tarnation's western flank is just incredibly weak. There's not going to be enough here to stop it. His machine gun is... where is it? Oh, there. No, it's not there. It's there. Alright. So that's going to take some time. And then Cameron will perhaps stop in time, but it's still going to take some time. And meanwhile, Drang Meckler can just push ahead here. He's also yet to choose a doctrine, and neither has Tarnation. He's clearing out the cover here. Trying to make it harder here for Tarnation to defend. Sneaky play there with Drang Meckler. It's actually very few players that use this to destroy cover ability in general. The only one I know ever will do was Sage of the Six. But there you go. Drang Meckler's on the job. Alright chaps, time to blow up some cover. But one of the locals is like it. The locals are all gone. How do you know? Artillery drove them away. Oh. Grabbing points there. And there you go, continuous sniper fire here from Drang Meckler's sniper. So far 3 kills there with his boys anti-tank rifle, which is overall not a very effective anti-tank rifle, I believe. And even more so, I'm reasonably sure the British didn't use anti-tank rifles, sniper rifles. The only ones who did it were the Soviets, and they mostly used it to clear up bunkers with high explosive rounds. Fun fact there. Trot on the way there for Tarnation, so that's going to be a Schwer punted quarters plus a second MG34. I mean, he's worried about the AC, but so far there's no sign of it. In fact, we've got another 6-pounder gun here for Drang Meckler, a 6-pounder gun in the first place. No sign of doctrines yet. Victory point wise, Tarnation is pulling ahead here of Drang Meckler for the fatherland. Bit of shooting here in the west between 2 sections. So they're not really pulling up as fast as they could. I mean, they could see try and sneak about here, flank the Volksgrenadiers that way. Wehrmacht Schlepper probes it around here for the Schwer Panzer quarters. And there goes second MG34 arriving for Tarnation. 107th Panzer Brigade. Sappers moving out, got their Sten guns in hand. There you go, a few shots fired. North Dog Section, we got the MG34 falling up behind an old tombstone, but section is in heavy cover. Although he does have access to a coordinated fire, he could try and throw it at the machine gun there, pushing that away. Sniper, there's also flying support here, slowly pushing away at Tarnation's units. Nothing here, just taking the hits like a man. Possibly. Bit of sniper fire, nothing says. Got the second info forming up here for Tarnation. Schwerer Wehrmacht Schleppers yet to set up for Schwer punted quarters there. And the south, some minor skirmishing as well. We got the US covering up the Volksgrenadiers, but getting a bit too close to the Panzerfaust. Sappers repulse. Looks like these are still going to be Tarnations. And there you go, Drang Meckler moves up. He actually goes to the fuel point there, but gets suppressed by the second MG34. There's still no attempt at using the artillery ability. Section slowly moving up. There we go. Calling it in. Calling in. In this case, he's doing it on the fuel point. In this case, he hoped he prevent it neutrally, but then prevent Tarnation from actually being able to seize it. But too late for that. I got the 25-pounder guns opening up on the fuel point at a empty piece of ground. Doctrinal choice is from Dreinbeckler, and it is Commando Regiment. Time to go Commando. In the south there, more harassment, grabbing of territory. Universal Carrier there repaired. Waiting for its next objective, its next target. Glider landing here, so it's closest to the front line, can provide reinforcement there, and of course, got the Commandos themselves ready with their silenced end guns. Troops are healing, reinforcing. No take up yet here for Dreinbeckler, though he does have the resources. And the Schwer Wehrmacht Schlepper is finally setting up there for the Schwer Panzer quarters for Tarnation, which will open out there for some Panzers. Bit of shooting here and there. Commandos hiding in the shrubbery. Alright chaps, if anyone's asking, we're a bunch of bushes. But why would they be asking? Shut up, Terry. And there you go. Swarming out here against the Volkskriegs, opening up there with the Sten guns and an ambush burst. I think he managed to use the sniper's bait there. That's pretty clever there, but Dreinbeckler full wiping there. Volkskriegs squad. Quite a good strike there, but Dreinbeckler less good for Tarnation there. Of course, now he's short one Volkskriegs squad. Machine gun on the way there, the sniper should be able to clear that out a bit here with his anti-tank sniper rifle. Commander's routine having suffered a minor loss. Might have been running into the Schwer Panzer quarters. He's likely going to go for a Panther 4 here, though theoretically you could set up for a Panther and push ahead with that. Section that pushed back. MD-34 covering the eastern victory point and fuel point well. Now we go down to one man. Sniper shoots, misses, but the fuel point is open there for Dreinbeckler. In this regard, Tarnation continues, I think, to pull ahead with a fuel advantage. He's also feeling it, and certainly looks like he might be in for Schwer Panzer quarters. Then again, the anti-tank gun heading the Schwer Panzer quarters here could very well force Tarnation to have to go for a Panzer 4 because he might risk losing it before it gets out anything. That'd be a pretty big victory there for Dreinbeckler strategically. He needs to get it repaired. Good work there, boy. He's going to have to flank, I think. We're sending the Volkskriegs here to sort of hit from the side. Maybe support by the MD-34. Or he's going to have to go for a Doctrine and could write some support for it. He's trying to sort of flank. He's not just charging head on, possibly anticipating the machine guns. In this case, though, didn't quite work out fully. But still, good work there. Priority is definitely the anti-tank gun, I think. But did also, of course, want to keep the machine gun away. But still, a lot of British infantry moving in here. Anti-tank gun pushed away for now. No response here from the forces here in the east. He'll probably have to move then because, again, if he loses that before anything gets up, it's going to be a massive loss for Tarnation. Here we go. We do get the Panther 4. And I get the feeling he might have been playing for a Panther, but of course, with the anti-tank taking that out a lot of damage here, he probably realises he can't afford to wait that long. Finally, forces from the east moving in there, but already a bit too late. As Dreinbeckler puts in a counter-attack to actually pressure that as well. Possibly in anticipation that he would begin retracting forces to defend the Schwer Panzer quarters. So right here, Dreinbeckler pulling off some reasonably sneaky moves. Tarnation are remaining continually and chronically doctrineless here. Forces they're being shredded out in the open. Got the Commandos joining in for a bit of fun. Panther 4 arrives here for Tarnation. Shoots and misses the Universal Carrier there with quite a hit. A shot. Not a hit, obviously. That would be the opposite of a miss. A double 6-pounder guns plus a sniper could give the Panther a bit of problem. And there we go. Shoots, misses the sniper. Would have been impressed if he actually hit the sniper. But now Dreinbeckler is really pushing hard against Tarnation. Again, the hit on the Schwer Panzer quarters just destabilised all of what Tarnation have been going for. Which sort of tried to react and defend it. And meanwhile, Dreinbeckler's just been punching holes left and right here in Tarnation forces. Got a wipe somewhere, which is good here for him, though. Might not quite be able to compensate for the all of a sudden, you know, swinging map control here that Dreinbeckler's got going against Tarnation. You got the both 6-pounder going against the Panther 4. You actually lingered perhaps too long. Might risk losing it. With a few lucky hits. There you go, Commander spotted. And there you go, both anti-tank and shooting. No, one didn't shoot. One didn't shoot. We got incendiary piston rounds being launched here by the MD-34. Universal could go down. It could go down. Except it's constantly shifting targets, missing out on destroying anything. That's really rubbish there for Tarnation. That is really rubbish. And he might even lose the machine gun here to the Universal Carrier. That would be a double a whammy in terrible stuff. Nope, it's away just for the tiniest sliver of health. Tiniest of slivers. In the meanwhile, he's fixed up the Schwer Panther quarters, but he need to work on the Panther 4. He also needs to choose a doctrine here soon. And Reich'n'Roll needs to begin pushing out tank service as Tarnation. Light infantry on there for Tarnation. Lightest Infanteriegeschütz. Commandos grabbing points here. Moving in the Volksgrenadiers, unaware of what might be hiding. And in this case, they weren't able to ambush themselves fast enough. There you go. One man went down here to the Volksgrenadiers. Up in the west, MD-34, very much on its own. He easy target here for Reich'n'Roll's forces if they can get close enough. And down here, continue pushing. Got a light gun bomb off against the Volksgrenadiers. He doesn't realise it, and kaboom! Almost the entire unit. They're gone with a single grenade. Up here, the machine gun continues to fight the good fight for the fatherland. 6-pounder guns hanging back in reserve. You got the Panther 4 moving in. 6-pounder guns should be able to react to that. And here in the east, units being pushed away here as Tarnation keeps sending in more infantry. Still no sign of armor here from Reich'n'Roll. Is he planning hammer tactics? Anvil tactics? Or what is going on there with Reich'n'Roll? A decision certainly soon, though, I think will be very good. And there we go. We got Virtually Free on the Universal Carrier. Grabbing the Western fuel. Sections moving ahead. Firefly on the way for Reich'n'Roll. Interesting choice. He theoretically could pull ahead with something bigger, but he's clearly worried that Tarnation is going to be pulling up more tanks against him soon, in which case the Firefly is obviously a very strong choice. Probably the sensible one. Flank here going on, moving behind. Reich'n'Roll got a bit too focused on the front, and pushing in. The X didn't secure his flanks, and that was something here Tarnation saw and struck with the fury of 1,000 Reichs. 6-pounder guns trying to give the anti-tanker of Panther 4, but they're all being cleared out here by the Volksgrenadiers pursuing. In this case, they got suppressed in time, leaving one anti-tank gun operable. But there you go, incendiary grenade as well. Bit of a mess here for Reich'n'Roll, and Tarnation is only interested in making it worse here for Reich'n'Roll. There we go, Universal Carrier there self-repairing and blitzing away. And the Eastern Victory Point is just sort of abandoned at the moment. Firefly almost done. Bolted section here for Reich'n'Roll. He could also consider using some doctrinal abilities. Assault could be pretty good at the right time. Smoke rate maybe. Or, you know, mortar cover, which is still a very, very good ability.
All infantry squads can have an additional infantryman.
Tarnation, though, really needs a doctrine, though. Firefly with Commander and Tulip rockets ready. Commandos running about, they're being pushed back. Smaller skirmishing on the western fuel point, but Tarnation probably got too much about. Oh, we've got a doctrine, it is Luftwaffe, so both have gone for something with a bit of airborne, a bit of assaulty abilities. And air support. Yeah, actually become rather similar. They even got smoke. Like, the only difference is this got mortar cover and this got, you know, flat emplacements, trenches and tank traps. Alright, Tom, I just want you to cool down that trigger and spray those damn dirty hands until they're dead. Well, why would I be spraying them till they're dead? Well, you know, it could be, you know, you're one of those humanists. I'm British. I have no humanity. That's the spirit, lad. That's the spirit. Pushing east, we see the double sections. Second Panther 4 for Tarnation. No Panthers here being unleashed against the Tommy hordes as Commandos are being snug eastwards. Got the Panther 4 there rolling about for the fatherland. No grenades either for Reich'n'Roll. They're explosive. And there you go. We got air reconnaissance smoke bombs called in. In this case, I think he just mostly used it for the air reconnaissance. Oh, he counts the Panther 4 for Panther, probably seeing what Reich'n'Roll's been hiding about, that he decides the Panther is indeed the tool he wants for this job. I think he would better off going for the Panther first, but we'll see if we can make it work. Reich'n'Roll, still no hammer or anvil. Anything else? And flowing quite a bit of munitions, but then again, so is Tarnation. But at least he's using some of his doctrinal stuff there. Hiccup. Again. Bit of a hunt here in the south for infantry. So moving ahead there slowly, troops pushing down the west side, Panther almost done, Panther 4. I mean, it's a pretty risky move here that Tarnation did. I mean, there's nothing to cover the flank, nothing to make sure that things are safe. So this could easily backfire quite aggressively on Tarnation. There you go, direct hit here from the Firefly, 6 Panther gun misses, but the Panther 4 is down to less than half health here. Firefly the rolls back, and there you go, Panther out here for Tarnation, and the west troops are being hammered by Vickers machine gun fire. And folks are pushing ahead. Panther moving ahead, shooting a bit here and there, and there you go, folks charging into the sappers, into the sections. A full retreat here for Tarnation's Volksgundiers. Panther with a pin-up machine gun. Panther was going to need some repairs, aggressively so. After the fair going on Drone Vector's base, no upgrades, and you know, nothing happening with drops and abilities either. There's certainly some opportunities there for both players to do something, but they seem to be a bit unsure what they want to do. Perhaps waiting for the other one to make the big move, then they can counter it, and then they can make their big move in response. But there you go. A lot of anti-tank fire there, taking the Panther down to half health in a few shots. So that did not last long there for Tarnation before he had to retreat that one already. Mines being laid down, obviously here. Diamond is expecting some kind of armored assault. Wants to slow down, or at least slow down its supporting elements. More smoke reconnaissance. It's a weird ability when you think about it. Smoke reconnaissance. That's like, yeah, I'll be doing some reconnaissance here, or are we? Yeah. You'll never know, except if you make it too obvious, obviously. But you guess we are here, aren't we, Ludwig? Need to cover the Panther, though. At least he's using some of the stocks on the villages, though, compared to Dreinbeckler, who's just not. Large infantry push here against him. We got artillery called in response here to blow up those Huns, to shatter their waves. Tarnation seems mostly unfazed and just walks right past it. And we got orbital archers again. Well, he does have the option here for Fallschirmjäger. He instead opts for the more old school orbital Soldaten here versus the Tommies. Universal rushing in by with 18 kills. He's actually been able to do quite well with the hit Dreinbeckler. That's actually impressive to note. That is impressive. Small engagement. MD 4 sitting up way too close to the end. He's lucky that Dreinbeckler has no grenades in him except the Commandos, and they get close enough. So right here, that's a tactical mistake by Tarnation. No support, no nothing. Oh, the machine gun actually survives all of that? That's insane. In the membrane. Insane in the brain. Anyways, upon them being secured, troops on the fire from the Universal, the Fireflies just sort of watching passively, disapprovingly. And there we go. He's calling it in. He's calling in. He's calling in the Fallschirmjäger assault. The interesting enough, he doesn't have the Fallschirmjäger synergized with him still. Luftwaffe strikes for the fatherland. Panther fast here, taking out the Universal Firefly still standing about here. Panther 4, Panther moving in. He's blitzkrieging. He's moving in there. This is a big push here from Tarnation against Dreinbeckler. He's getting 6 Panther guns. Units being wiped out left and right. Air support striking in there. Firefly almost taking out. Panther 4's main gun up. There you go. Firefly goes down to Stukas. Volksgundiers is doing what they can, but the 6 Panther gun has not been cleared out. The Panther's not doing enough, and the Panther 4 blows up as well. Good lord for an engagement. And there you go. Grenades off against the Volksgundiers. Almost takes out the entire unit. Commandos sweeping up the rest. Holy smoke. So much death and destruction here. And we still got a few Stukas just circling above there like vultures, looking for more prey. This is Vulture 1. I see a lot of targets, but I don't have enough ammunition. Going back. And you go, 6 Panther gun destroyed. Had I think been able to focus the art, had he been able to focus that, he might be able to save with the Panther 4 there. But that ham, he's taking too much damage with his Panther. I mean, you can obviously see what he's trying to do here, but he needs to be a bit careful about that. He needs to be a bit careful about that. I think he should just pull back the Panther before, you know, ends up losing it to say, oh, I don't know, a mine maybe. Whew. Someone wore their lucky jackboots today. We're quickly going here for a second Panzer 4. Dreinbeckler opting for another Firefly, still in Hammer Anvil tactics. I was definitely, I think, him getting a bit punished for just being too passive around the centre, giving Tarnation, I think, plenty of opportunities, you know, slightly scout him up, but also just set up for a good attack there. So, I mean, well played to an extent for Tarnation. Some bits could have been done better, but I would say he did a lot of damage there, though he also suffered for it, so, you know, it's sort of, I mean, he's still ahead then, you know, so it's not all bad. But Dreinbeckler definitely needs to think, you know, a bit more aggressive, and he needs to use his resources a bit more actively here versus Tarnation. He needs to stop being so passive and let Tarnation basically increasingly just choose where the engagements happen. Now that on hand is a really, I think, big mistake there by Tarnation, just running in his Panther 4 like that. Immediately taking hits there from the Firefly, and that could actually be the destruction of the Panther 4 there. Yup. Oh, he gets away. So close there. So close there. That was really Tarnation there doing something. Either that was an incredible misclick, he wasn't paying attention to something, or, you know, that was just utter recklessness. Dreinbeckler needs to focus on the fuel. There we go, we got support called in, we got Mortar for once being utilised here. We got Valiant Assault is using the Mortar, I think, to break up the Valiant Assault here. In this case, it's sounding a bit too slow still. There's Mortar. White Phosphorus fire falling on the machine guns nearby, hammering them, pounding them relentlessly. Could actually lose one of the machine guns to that if there's also regular mortar around the full stand. There you go. He's almost got the machine gun already. It's just a hell of white phosphorus. Panther opens on the charging forge using the Van Assault. There you go. Machine gun almost taken out here. Pulls back. Firefly hanging back. Needs to engage the Panther. There's a smoke there. Blocks it up. Not entirely sure where the smoke comes from. Panther takes a direct hit here. Folks, the machine gun retreating through the white phosphorus. Things are certainly heating up here in the later game. Between the two, and Tarnation seem to have suffered further losses against Dreinbeckler. In this case, suffered this assault without actually suffering any sort of more critical. So that's good for him. It's obviously less good for Tarnation, who seems to have lost another Volksgun in his squad. He could consider more Obersoldaten or Fallschirmjägers. I think more Obersoldaten would be the best choice here for Tarnation. Smoke reconnaissance going in again. He would benefit, I think, just using tech to support his assaults as well, and that way minimise incoming damage for Dreinbeckler, to be honest. But there you go. Going for the spare punted quarters. Need to be careful with the Panther, the Panther gun, and a Firefly ready to blow that Panther several holes closer to Swiss cheese. He's repairing the spare punted quarters, but he's close to losing the Panther as well. The light infantry gun's getting blasted. So right now, Tarnation's basically getting punished for just placing all of his stuff here in a very obvious spot, now increasing where Dreinbeckler can just pull ahead. In this regard, clearing out the area here for any carbon just obstacles, I think has proved to be, you know, long-term very good decision. He's actually moving in the Panther, so the nation's forced to get more risky here. Also moving in the Panther 4, and if you're attacking head-on, though, is very risky. Need to get that Panther out of there, Schnell! And there you go, Vickers suppressing Tarnation's infantry. Tarnation really needs to change up. At the same time, Dreinbeckler needs to get better at actually holding fuel. That is, I definitely think, one of the big mistakes from this match. He's just not been very good at focusing at the fuel there, and that's definitely just allowing Tarnation to slightly pull ahead there fuel-wise. Line for gun there, recruit and firing away. Panther being worked on, going to take some time. Dreinbeckler is still neglecting his eastern fuel pump. He's hitting the western fuel pump, which isn't bad, but he certainly should not be getting the eastern one. We also got Bren guns up there for Dreinbeckler, finally. Going for the rear punted quarter again here with a Firefly. Panther 4 reveals itself. Sets up, which might draw away the Firefly's attention from the strap punted quarter. Of course, we could just decide to focus down and punish him for it. I mean, there are options there for Dreinbeckler. There are options. Typically pulls in the 6-pounder gun. There you go. We got infantry setting up for a flank here. It doesn't have Valiant Assault support, but there you go. Panther taking advantage of this. He's actually going to go in here despite his tanks not being fully repaired, it seems. Also, Dreinbeckler finally sending something there towards the eastern fuel pond again. Finally. Commandos spotted, repulsed, but there you go. Not before the machine gun gets a bit of a present there. Grabbing the cut-off point there. Grabbing the eastern field, grabbing the center victory point. And we got a Yak Panzer now for Tarnation. I mean, could in theory just get away with going for another Panther or Panzer IV here, but interesting enough, he aims for the Yak Panzer. I'm not sure why, but it's not a bad choice. I just think, you know, you could go for something else. Diamond here opting for the Centaur to help deal with infantry. Feeling probably his Firefly and 6-pounder gun enough to deal with it. That would be my assumption there. Love to see how that works out for him. In particular, once Tarnation begins bringing up there the Yak Panzer.
Time for action.
11 kills in the Panther, 2 kills in the Panther IV. There you go, Sappers advancing, their cover shattered. Like, well, a sandcastle really, unless the Panther IV just opens up. Panther setting up, Yak Panzer following up. Here going for the Firefly, senses an opportunity, he senses a chance. He smells blood for the fatherland. Oh, maybe a bit of diesel as well. And go flanks the Panther, the Firefly gets a good hit. They need to cover the 6-pounder gun, but the way it's reacting, it's going to be pretty good there. Panther gets into the flank here. Using Blitzkrieg. Firefly, the canky up. There you go, Panther IV joining Commandos, getting shot at. There you go, almost got the Firefly, almost got it, but he fires the 2 rockets at the Panther IV, stopping up right in front of the 6-pounder gun. He might get the Firefly, but he's likely going to lose the Panther IV. And there you go. No, the Panther IV survives. The Panther gains Veggie 2, and the Firefly is smoked. And there you go, the 6-pounder gun. He's using a rapid maneuver trying to get out. The Panther's blocking the way. And the Yak Panzer's just sort of... Why is the machine gun gewehr not working? I don't know. It just says not operable, courtesy of Relic. What the hell is Relic? I don't know. Just try and make it work anyways. Yak Panzers did activate MD-42 in the hull. Partly owing to the fact they were designed as assault guns like the Stug. Fun fact. Glider destroyed. Need to be careful there with the 6-pounder gun exposing his Panther's rear to it. That's just silly. There we go. Blitzing away. Almost losing his Panther. That was really silly there by Tarnation. That was really silly. Diamondback's force there getting shredded by machine gun fire a bit out in the open. Yak Panzer almost getting knocked out here. Centaur's actually doing some heavy damage to it. And there you go. He almost gets it. Oh! It would be fun if he actually took out this Yak Panzer with it, but he didn't quite succeed. They need to fall back now. He's taking too much damage from the Panther. Don't forget the Panther, Dreinweckler. 6-pounder gun, Sappers moving up there. Need to grab some victory points. Clearing out the lines, going here with the Centaur and its twin Polston 20mm guns. There you go, going for it. We got a veteran feeble with a 6-pounder gun. That's actually pretty dangerous. High rate of fire and high penetration. Quickly doing a lot of damage to the spare punch squad. He's losing the Centaur though, which is going to hurt a bit here versus Tarnation. If they can get the spare punch cord, is finding that it's going to be good though. I would say at this point, Tarnation's got plenty of value out from it. Right now, oh, he got the Panther. He got the veteran 2 Panther. Oh, scheisse. Big loss there for Tarnation. That was a veteran 2 Panther lost. He should have put it back into his base, to be honest, rather than hanging about there. But Tarnation apparently thought the area was safe, and Dreinweckler proved more than sufficiently the area was not safe. Now it's down to Yak Panzer and a Panzer IV here. That slightly, I would say, gives Dreinweckler improved odds versus Tarnation longer run. He's got 2 Sabre sections doing nothing. He should probably try and grab some more fuel. Try and pull ahead with more armor here versus Tarnation and the 1 and 7th Panzer Brigade. Which mostly would operate Yak Panzers and Panthers. I don't think they actually received any Panzer IVs, to be honest. Since it was part of the first waves of Panzer Brigades, at least sort of roughly, maybe second, 1.5. Light gun bomb there. Commandos doing horrific work there against Tarnation troops. Veteran fleet, 25 kills. Another Commander squad, also being called in here from above by Dreinweckler. Fixing up the Panzer IV there. Subs advancing, 2 5-man squads there. Machine guns though setting up there in time. He's trying to steal the light infantry gun. I would say it's an ambitious idea, but I'm not entirely sure that's a good idea. In fact, I'm quite convinced it's not. He's almost got the MD-34 there, but the Sappers still can't manage to get suppressed. We got the Orbital wing, we got the Panther 4 arriving. Probably better off just focusing on the fuel and the victory point, denying Tarnation fuel, while ensuring he gets more, so he can maybe push out something a bit bigger here. Lost the Sabber section, but they wasted manpower there. Troops reinforcing. Will he be going for another fireflight? Will he finally be going for something else? We got another smoke bombing run here. In this case, it seems more specifically aimed at just obscuring the anti-tank guns line of fire, allowing his Panther 4 to move about more freely. Very good idea there by Tarnation. Very good. In fact, he's used 3 of the abilities out of the jocks, and interesting enough, none of them have been in the Fallschirmjäger. Obviously, he could also go for flak emplacements, though. They might be helpful, actually. They're actually kind of good now. Whereas before they were useless, they're good now. Just, still they're static emplacements, so they're not exactly high on a lot of people's priority lists. Going for the second glider here, which of course serves as a fort reinforcement point for Dreinbeckler. Taking out pretty swiftly this time around. Ooh, good hit from the Panther 4 there. Leaves several Commandos just crumpled together. Panther 4 rolling back. There's Tommy's just advanced ruthlessly. Lots of P-8s, they're just being launched in the direction of the Tarnation's troops. But he still should try and grab the centre one. He should also harass the western side more. And I think Tarnation might now be trying playing for a King Tiger. As for Dreinbeckler, there's not particularly much happening there in the armour department. Calling in artillery here again. He's made good use of the artillery ability though. Got the centre victory point here. Panther 4 needs to be careful about not moving through the artillery zone. Mines down, good work there. Still nothing in the armour department. No decisions, no choices. Tarnation is indeed here going for the mechanised regiments. It's up for repair pioneers, obviously, but I imagine also long term the idea is a King Tiger. We got harassment in the western fuel pump. We also got setting up for harassment himself for the larger infantry incursion, which he's going to have a hard time sort of reacting to because most of his forces are the west or centre. Commandos being gutted here by the Panther 4 machine gun combo. Need to retreat that on the spot. Even then, it might be too late now. There we go, they got the 6-pounder gun there on the job. He even used rapid moves to get it there quickly. That's very good. I mean, so incredibly few players actually use rapid maneuvers, but it's actually in a lot of cases very good because it just allows you to overcome one of the biggest weaknesses of an anti-tank, which is it's slow and difficult to get around with. This one just allows you to just boost it. Just fast. Trying to attack here. He's going to need a smoke grenade, which by now does work like a smoke grenade, I believe. But there you go, machine gun push away, Panther 4 still hanging about here. Eastern side being easily shot by Tarnation as Dreinbeckler is now focused heavily on the west without any armour support still. Maybe he's thinking he's actually playing Vanguard and is wondering why he can't call in regular commanders from the gliders and where the crocodile is. I mean, that could be an option. But there you go. Tarnation just continues his eastern sweep here, taking advantage of the utter lack of response here from Dreinbeckler. In fact, now it's too late. He's sending in sappers, by the way, with P-8s to deal with Volksgundiers and an orbital on board. That's not going to work out to where I think they're from Dreinbeckler. Still pioneers repulsed by the Commandos. 27 kills for King and Country. Hammer tactics, finally. Something at the very least. Commanders have caught it and absolutely gutted in a matter of seconds. It's going to take some time. They were calling it commenting down, so Sweeney probably could have done more fishing. They also had to just control the fuel points more efficiently. In many cases, again, with just this one, just nothing happened. Not good. Panther 4 running it there, goes straight in front line of the 6-pounder gun. There goes, shoots, easily penetrates. Folks with this orbital charging at the position. We got the machine gun that's stopping up this assault reasonably easily. He could consider blend curve to block the line of fire of the machine gun, but no, he gets it actually. He wipes it aggressively so. Virtually free on the orbital done. Tearing through. Rheinbeckler's remaining forces just lack the firepower to stop all these Germans. We've got the Commandos moving in though. Virtually free. Jagdpanzer's bombarding, hoping to kill something, but it's not really achieving it. And there you go. Panzer IV lands a devastating hit here on the Commandos, almost taking out an entire squad, forcing them to pop smoke, well, forcing the survivor to pop smoke and retreat. This is quick turning ugly here for Rheinbeckler. This is turning very ugly. There you go. 6-pounder gun wiped out as well. This is looking like a pretty bad situation for Rheinbeckler, and I'm not entirely sure he can actually recover from this at this stage. Like, he just got pulverized. Now we can see Tarnation just calling in more airborne assaults, more Luftwaffe support. He could have called in fights to make a squad here to support, you know, from our more direct infantry replacements. Oh, no sign of those. Bit of a shame. And he calls in a King Tiger. The Tiger 2 has arrived for Tarnation for the 107th Panzer Brigade. Rheinbeckler finally moving in back towards the east again. Grab the center victory point. 31 points left. Rheinbeckler is not giving up. He is not giving up even remotely. And there we go. King Tiger pushing back the section. Grabbing the eastern victory point. And there you go. More smoke reconnaissance.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
I think he's just going to restrain to Rheinbeckler's base and just murder away his troops there. Tarnation seems to be feeling supremely confident. And it's easy to see why. Bunker there is just getting pummeled. And gone.
The headquarters building has been destroyed.
Push up, he's not faring too much better here for Rheinbeckler. Light gun bomb goes off against machine gun, almost takes it out. Commandos sweeping through. Got the Jagdpanzer just sort of sniping away there. Hey, how much do you want to bet I can hit one of those Tommies with an armor-piercing round? I don't know, 5 Reichsmark? You're on. Full to the charge, being charged out by the Commandos.
We're losing a capture point.
Sapper sneaking in. A very depleted commander squad hiding out here, possibly hoping to survive the war at this stage because Rheinbeckler is so far not leading them to victory. And there you go, Jagdpanzer scored a kill and the gunner got himself 5 Reichsmark. GG. 12 points left. 10 points. 7. 4, 3, or 1, I mean. And there we go. GG, game over. Victory for Tarnation, a loss for Rheinbeckler. Some interesting attacks in there, some interesting moves. Early game was interesting, a lot of sort of maneuvering there, trying to outplay the other one. The problem for Rheinbeckler was as the game sort of went on, there was sort of a slightly increasing amount of mistakes that came in. Partly because he just kept playing passively. He forgot about the eastern fuel, just the other fuel point, meaning, you know, Tarnation was all able to just more steadily build up a fuel advantage with Rheinbeckler. There's no, for example, attempt at compensating with caches. And, you know, his ability to, I think, was also on the weaker side at times, which didn't really particularly help him either versus Tarnation either. Tarnation, though, was also, I think, helped with just being at times just, you know, really coordinating these really aggressive and also impressive attacks. For example, that big one with the Panzer IV, the Panther, all supported by airborne assault and then a lot of infantry. That was actually, you know, really well executed assault that did a lot of damage to Rheinbeckler. Was probably one of the biggest swing moments. So Rheinbeckler still had a chance of getting better in the game. The way he just, you know, failed to secure enough fuel for any arm, and then, you know, at the end just couldn't get down the arm because of something so many heavy losses and just, you know, couldn't go for commentating or anything. Also, I think hurt Rheinbeckler So I think there's some room there for improvement, but I think a pretty interesting match there with some less utilised doctrines here. So, well, you know, pretty much fun. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, want to subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay of your own or provide some feedback in the comment section. And this is Imperial Dancing Cheese. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.